On Friday, July 6, 2001, at approximately 6:30 a.m., Tracy Bradley left her apartment at 3526 South Lake Park Avenue to attend her job at nearby Robert Taylor Park summer camp. She left the apartment with George Washington, a man who was allegedly a father of one of her children. She left her two daughters, 10-year-old Tianda and 3-year-old Diamond Bradley, at home alone while she worked. Tracy returned home between the hours of 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. When she arrived, the children were gone, and there was a note on the couch written by Tianda explaining that the children went to a local grocery store, then to a local school. Tracy called friends and family and began to search for the girls by herself. George Washington opted to leave and did not assist with the search. The Chicago police were not called for a minimum of 5 hours after Tracy first realized that the girls were missing, which launched a massive investigation. Tracy was questioned at length by police for many hours. It was during one of these questioning sessions when police were told the first original story by Tracy Bradley, which was Tracy was at home taking a nap, and when she awoke, the girls were gone. But police determined, had that been the case, Tracy would have heard what was going on and awoken. Tracy went on to say that she and George Washington were planning a trip to take her and the girls to Lake Schaefer. Tracy further admitted that they had never been camping, nor were they in possession of camping equipment. Tracy had two other daughters, Victoria, who was 12, and Rita, who would be turning 10 the very next day, who were not at the apartment when Diamond and Tianda went missing. Allegedly, Victoria and Rita were being watched by their grandmother. George Washington was questioned, and he was found to be in possession of a receipt from Home Depot for the purchase of bleach, gloves, and garbage bags. A search of his vehicle found hairs in the trunk of his car that could have belonged to Tracy, Tianda, or Diamond. On July 12th, police watched surveillance footage from the store that the girls walked to on the day of the disappearance. The surveillance footage showed two young girls who matched the description of Tianda and Diamond. The police needed Tracy to view the tape and make a positive ID. Tracy initially refused to view the tape. Officers claimed that family members would not even open the door to speak with police. The next day, Tracy arrived to view the tape. The tape did not reveal either girl. During one of the days that Tracy was being interviewed by the police, a family member checked Tracy's voicemail and heard a message from Tianda, which stated, "Mama, this is Tianda. Mom, pick up the phone. George is at the door. Can I open the door? He says we're going to Jewel's to pick up the cake there, and we're going to pick you up from work." Police could never follow up on the voicemail because it somehow disappeared. Police launched an immediate search of the area, and over 100 known sex offenders were interviewed. And the search was expanded to include abandoned buildings, bodies of water, sewers, wooded areas, garbage dumps, and dumpsters. Tianda's voicemail said George is at the door, but there were two Georges. There's George Washington, Diamond's alleged father, the man who was in possession of the suspicious receipt and familial hair inside the trunk of his car, And then there's George Sr., which was a friend and neighbor of Tracy's and an alleged sometime babysitter to the girls. Tianda's voicemail just said George, not a last name. Though one would presume if George Washington had just taken Tracy to work and the next day was Rita's birthday, that would explain why he would be taking the girls to the store to buy a cake. Then picking Tracy up would be plausible depending on the time of the voicemail. Which brings us to yet another person in this story. Allegedly, an unidentified Moroccan or Middle Eastern man who had been allegedly paying child support for Tianda was under the impression that Tianda was his daughter and had recently found out that she was not. Also, on the day of the disappearance, it has been alleged that Tianda tried to enter her summer program at Doolittle Elementary School but was turned away by the principal because she had Diamond with her. Of the 1,000 people and over 30 relatives questioned, no one was questioned more than Tracy Bradley. Her initial story was fabricated, though Tracy explained she was deceptive due to the fact that she feared the Department of Children and Family Services taking her remaining daughters or being prosecuted for leaving Tianda and Diamond home alone. Tracy also would not allow her other daughters, Victoria and Rita, to be interviewed by the police at all, ever. Tracy also refused to give a writing sample to police so they could compare it to the note left by Tianda. Police eventually obtained the writing sample from Tianda's school. The note and Tianda's writing sample were submitted by the FBI for handwriting analysis, and it was found that the note was actually written by Tianda. Tracy initially didn't go to watch the surveillance tape from the grocery store. The voicemail on Tracy's phone from Tianda mysteriously disappeared. Though the Chicago police treated this as a missing persons case, a parallel criminal investigation was also ran. Tracy Bradley did take and pass a polygraph. Why was Tianda and Diamond left alone when Victoria and Rita were being watched by a family member? Why was Lake Schaefer never searched? It was believed by police that the entire camping story had been made up by Tracy, but still, since bodies of water were being searched and she mentioned it, why was it not searched? What happened to Tianda's voicemail? In 2007, Sheila Bradley, the aunt of the girls and a major advocate for the return of the girls throughout the years, received an email that read, "This is Tianda." The email was tracked to a MySpace page with a photo of a girl that bore a striking resemblance to Tianda. She even has similar scars as Tianda. Even a forensic artist, Lois Gibson, who not only holds the 2017 Guinness World Record for the most identifications by a forensic artist, Gibson also drew the first forensic sketch shown on America's Most Wanted, which helped to ID the suspect and solve the case. went on record saying that she believed that it was Tianda. Yet a man by the name of Jeff Smith came forward and said that the photo was of his daughter and not Tianda. Allegedly, DNA testing was performed and it was determined that the young lady was not Tianda. When Gibson was asked about the false ID, she stated, "This is the first time I've done a photo identification that hasn't worked." Does that sound like the statement of someone who is accepting responsibility for a mistake? Or does that sound like someone who has cast doubt about official findings? In 2013, Sheila Bradley received another email from a woman claiming to be living in Gary, Indiana. The woman claims that on the date of the disappearance of Tianda and Diamond, her boyfriend returned home visibly shaken. The boyfriend stated that he had done something messed up and she saw it, so he had to kill her. The police managed to track down this woman who no longer was willing to tell her story and did not want to cooperate with police. There was not enough evidence to charge George Washington with anything. Tracy Bradley went on to have at least one other child by George Washington and is still friends with George Sr., the girl's sometime babysitter. One of the most widely believed unofficial theories is that Tracy sold or gave the girls to the Moroccan or Middle Eastern man and that she has been involved directly or she has knowledge of what exactly happened to her daughters. In 2019, it was proved that a Texas woman claiming to be one of the Bradley sisters was lying. 5 filing cabinets full of information, a $10,000 reward, and 19 years have passed since the day 2 babies disappeared without a trace. And we are still no closer to bringing these now women home or bringing someone else to justice.